Okay, let's dive in. Think about your laptop for a second. Just, look at it. What do you really see?
A gray box. Screen, keyboard. Seems pretty straightforward.
Right, it feels simple. But the source material we're exploring today argues that what you're perceiving, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Maybe not even that.
More like seeing a single leaf and thinking you understand the whole forest.
Exactly that. That laptop, it looks like one thing, but it's really just a note in this massive invisible symphony, isn't it?
Yeah, a symphony of tech, infrastructure. It only works because this whole hidden orchestra is playing along.
Think about the power grid for starters. That's a huge system itself, relying on physics, engineering.
Economics, human cooperation, trust.
Then the factories, the software, the internet standards, all the servers it talks to.
And maybe most fundamentally, the source points to the social contract.
Mhm.
The underlying trust that things will basically work.
Like, the power lines might physically be there, but if corruption is rampant, like in some places the source mentions,
Then the electricity might not actually flow reliably. The laptop can't function if those basic enabling systems aren't trustworthy.
it really hammers home that leaf analogy. You hold the leaf, seems separate.
But it needs the tree, the soil, the sun,
Mm.
the whole ecosystem. Without that, it's nothing.
And our everyday perception, that simple view of the laptop, is basically a necessary shortcut through all that complexity.
Okay, so our perception simplifies. And the source gets really interesting on how it simplifies. It's not just about seeing objects neutrally.
Right, it argues we don't primarily see things so much as, what? Tools and obstacles.
Exactly. Our perceptual system actively filters reality. It highlights useful things, tools, and things that get in the way, obstacles.
So it's not just a flat surface, it's a floor to walk on.
Or a door to duck through. A chair is something to sit on, whether it's wood or a beanbag.
Ah, so the physical form is less important than its potential use for us.
Precisely. Our purpose shapes what we see. We see things to throw, things that might fall on us, things to eat.
Or, that car cutting you off in traffic. Definitely an obstacle. Annoying.
Definitely. So we perceive pragmatically at a handy level for our goals. The world isn't neutral data, it's relevant data.
And this bias applies to people too, right? We focus on faces for communication.
But we don't see their cells, atoms, or the huge web of history, economy, ecology they exist in. Or even them across time, past, and future.
It's a deliberate filter then, a limitation.
It has to be. Imagine trying to process all of that simultaneously, the micro, the macro, the historical.
You'd be paralyzed, overwhelmed.
So we operate with just enough for our immediate plans. And we tend to mistake that enough for the whole reality.
Okay, so we build this useful, simplified world, but then the source says ourselves aren't neatly contained either.
Yeah, this is fascinating. The idea that our sense of self extends beyond our skin.
How does that work? Like with tools?
Exactly. Pick up a screwdriver. Your brain pretty quickly incorporates it. You can sort of feel with the tip, judge its length almost instantly.
It becomes your screwdriver.
Right. And we get possessive. Same with cars. The source uses that example. They become extensions of us almost immediately.
Which is why road rage feels so personal. Someone bangs your hood, it feels like they hit you.
It's not strictly rational, but that identification, that self-extension, helps us navigate complex things like traffic.
And this extends to people,
Well,
family, friends.
Dramatically so.
Oh.
Think of a mother sacrificing for her child. The lines blur. The source even asks, is your child less a part of you than your arm? It's a tough question.
It really highlights that deep connection.
We even practice this with fiction, right? Identifying with characters in books or movies, feeling their joy, their pain.
We pay to become someone else for a bit.
And it happens maybe even more intensely with groups, sports fans, for instance.
Oh, yeah. Your team wins, you feel amazing. They lose, it's crushing.
The source notes it's almost like the fans' nervous systems are linked. It can even affect hormones like testosterone levels based on the game's outcome. It's deeply biological.
Wow. And national identity works like this, too.
To the extent we feel patriotic, yes. The country feels like part of us. That willingness to sacrifice for it. The source frames it as part of our sociability. If we become our family, team, country, we protect them like we protect ourselves.
So ourselves are way more porous and connected than we think. But this whole system, this simplified view, it relies on things going smoothly.
Absolutely. It works only when everything goes according to plan. As long as the underlying complexity behaves itself, stays hidden.
Like the car. We see it as thing that gets me places, simple.
Until it breaks down.
And that's when it hits you.
That's when the hidden complexity intrudes on our consciousness. Suddenly you're forced to see all the parts you ignored. Your own ignorance is laid bare.
It's not just annoying, it's unsettling. Your peace of mind vanishes.
Right. And you need an expert, a mechanic. The source calls them mechanic as psychologists almost. They fix the car, but they also restore your simple view of it.
That breakdown shows how little we normally see. But it's not just machines, is it?
No, it can trigger deeper anxieties. Is the mechanic ripping me off? Are the roads even safe? Am I competent enough?
When something in our predictable world fails.
The complex, messy reality underneath pushes through. The source uses this image of a walled garden, suddenly revealing hidden but ever-present snakes.
That's a potent image. And this kind of collapse is even worse in relationships, isn't it?
Devastatingly so. The source uses infidelity as a key example.
So initially, the wife sees her husband as reliable, loving, the simple, trustworthy view.
She feels she's standing on a rock, solid ground.
But then signs appear. He's distant, irritable, working late.
Little anomalies. Until the undeniable proof, seeing him with someone else.
And in that moment, it's not just the relationship that breaks.
It's perception itself that shatters. Her theory of her husband collapses. He becomes this complex, frightening stranger.
But crucially, her theory of herself also collapses.
Exactly. She's no longer the secure, well-loved wife. She might be the deceived innocent, or worse, feel like a gullible fool.
And the fallout is just chaos.
Total chaos. The past seems fake. The present is agony. The future, completely unknown. Who were we? What was real? The world itself feels unstable.
It's like seeing that biblical chaos, tohu vabohu, formless and void instead of order. The comfortable filter is gone.
The foundation is just ripped out, which leads to this children's story the source uses. There's no such thing as a dragon.
Ah, yes, the little dragon. Tell us about that.
It's simple, but brilliant. Billy sees a small, cat-sized dragon, tells his mom. She dismisses it. There's no such thing as a dragon.
And because it's ignored.
It starts to grow, eats all the pancakes, gets bigger, fills the room.
Until it literally lifts the house off the ground and carries it away.
Right. Dad comes home, house is gone, finds it on the dragon's back, climbs up. Mom still denies it, even while riding it.
Unbelievable. So what makes it shrink?
Only when Billy, having lived through it all, insists there is a dragon, Mom, then it shrinks back down.
And the reason it got so big...
Billy suggests maybe he wanted to be noticed.
Wow. So the analogy is chaos in relationships, households. It starts small. Unhappiness, resentment.
Exactly. Little things swept under the rug. That's where the dragon feasts. We avoid the hard talks because admitting resentment or fear or despair, it's difficult.
It feels safer moment to moment to just keep the peace, pretend the dragon isn't there.
But in the background, the dragon grows. The source calls these ignored issues sins of omission.
And they pile up until bang, the catastrophe, the affair, the huge fight, the complete breakdown.
It lifts the whole relationship off its foundations. A flood of everything unsaid because nobody built an ark, even though they felt the storm coming.
So if ignoring these baby monsters lets the dragon grow, why do we avoid confronting them? Why not be precise?
Well, the source points to some deep fears. The main one, fear of what that monster really is.
Like feel that this argument means it's the beginning of the end.
Or even worse, fear that you or your partner are fundamentally flawed. That you're capable of bringing about hell, ruining everything.
Yeah.
That's terrifying to face.
Absolute paralyzing. So we hide.
We hide in doubt, in vagueness. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I'm not so bad. If you don't define the problem, you don't have to own it.
Or willful blindness. Just don't look, hope it goes away. Isn't ignorance bliss?
Right. But the source is really clear. Avoidance doesn't work. It backfires.
How so?
It poisons the future. The problem you ignore festers and grows in the dark. It waits until you're weak, unprepared.
And then it strikes, ensuring you're defeated by the very thing you tried to avoid.
Exactly. Remember the Yeats quote the source uses. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. That's the price of denial.
And there's a difference in the kind of pain, right? Pain of precision versus pain of
A
vagueness.
huge difference. Specifying the problem, what's wrong, what you want. Yeah, it hurts if you fail or get rejected. It's a sharp, specific pain, clean pain.
But you learn from it. You know exactly what went wrong.
Yes. But refusing to specify, staying vague, that avoids the sharp pain, sure, but it leaves you with this dull ache of continued hopelessness.
Vague failure.
Yes,
Self-contempt. Because something's always wrong, but you can't pin it down, so you can't fix it.
You trade a defined problem for this cloud of potential failures that just hangs over you.
Okay, so avoidance is the path to the dragon consuming everything. What's the antidote then? How do we fight back?
The source argues it's courageous, precise language. That's the key tool.
How can just words fight chaos?
Because precision separates the unique, terrible thing that has actually happened from all the other equally terrible things that might have happened.
Like the doctor example, unspecified pain is terrifying, could be anything.
Right, unspeakable. But talking to the doctor, articulating it where, what kind, when collapses those infinite scary possibilities.
It might still be bad news.
It might be. But it becomes one specific thing. Maybe terrible, maybe not so terrible, maybe nothing. But it's defined, knowable, manageable. Precision turns nameless horrors into identifiable problems.
Like the noise in the woods, is it a tiger? A gang of tigers?
The imagination runs wild. But if you force yourself to look, to specify, often it's just a squirrel.
And even if it is a tiger,
Even then, the source argues, the actual specific terrible thing is usually less paralyzing than the infinite horror you imagined when you refuse to look. Naming it makes it real, but also containable. If you don't look, the squirrel stays a potential dragon.
so articulation allows fixing, like diagnosing a machine before you can repair it.
Exactly. Problems in life, especially relationships, need that precise diagnosis. The betrayed wife, to rebuild, needs to thoughtfully articulate the reality.
Separate the specific failures, the specific lies from just general awfulness.
Yes. What exactly broke? What specifically needs addressing?
And this whole process starts with just admitting there is a problem.
That initial courage. Not vague unhappiness, but I'm unhappy. That's the first act of definition.
And in those tough conversations, you have to keep it specific. Define the topic.
Crucial. Don't let it become about everything. That's unwinnable. Focus. This exact precise thing is the problem. This exact thing is what I want. This exact thing is what you could do.
Which means you have to think precisely first. What is wrong? What do I want?
You have to do that hard work. Use honest, precise speech to call order out of the chaos. If you shrink back, the thing you fear becomes the dragon and eats you.
So, bringing it all together, the source concludes our psyche, our soul, and the world itself. They're organized by language.
It's the core idea. By identifying things carefully with precise language, you pull them out of the background chaos.
You make them viable, obedient objects. Detached, specific, manageable.
Yes. You simplify complexity in a useful way. If you leave things vague, undefined, everything will bleed into everything else. The world becomes too complex, too overwhelming.
And there's a practice for this, a way to develop precision.
A powerful cycle described in the source. Say what you mean so that you can find out what you mean. Articulation clarifies your own thoughts.
Okay.
Act out what you say so you can find out what happens. Test your articulated ideas in the real world.
And pay attention to the results.
Then pay attention. Note your errors. Articulate them. Strive to correct them. It's this constant loop of articulation, action, observation, correction.
And that process, that's how you find meaning. Protect yourself.
That's how you discover the meaning of your life and build resilience against the inherent tragedies of existence, according to the source.
It leads to that final, powerful call. Confront the chaos.
Take aim against the sea of troubles. Specify your destination and chart your course. Admit to what you want. Tell those around you who you are. Narrow and gaze attentively and move forward forthrightly.
Wow, quite a journey. From a simple laptop to confronting the chaos of being. We saw how simplicity hides complexity.
How our functional perception works until it doesn't, revealing that chaos underneath.
And how ignoring those little dragons, those unaddressed problems,
allows them to grow into monsters that can destroy everything.
So this deep dive really shows that being precise in our language isn't just about clarity.
No, it's fundamental. It's how we confront reality, define the actual problem, and build order when things inevitably fall apart.
It takes courage to admit problems, discipline to define them, and willingness to have those hard, specific conversations.
Using language not just to describe, but to actively shape a habitable reality, both inside and out.
Okay, so final thought to leave everyone with, drawn from the source. The terrible truth is, every problem you voluntarily ignore will grow and come back to haunt you.
And the truly scary part? To guarantee that happens, you just have to do nothing at all.
The real challenge, then, is choosing that courageous, precise engagement instead. Choosing to face the dragon while it's still small.